All right, so now we're going to use the quadratic formula we just learned from completing the square to solve the following quadratics. And so how do you solve using quadratic formula? The first thing you do is make sure the equation equals 0. Next, you're going to identify a, b, and c. A is the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of x. C is the constant. Okay. Next, we're going to plug it into the quadratic formula. And I'm going to kind of write this out a little bit. And what I'm doing here is I'm expressing this formula up here, and I'm just putting blanks in there, okay? So it says negative b. I'm just going to put what the b value is, 1. B squared, 1. AC, 2 negative 3, all over 2a, so 2 times 2, okay? Quadratic formula does work every time, so if you want a method that works every time, this is my preferred method to use, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and next step is to simplify around the plus or minus sign. So what's negative times negative 1? Negative 1. What's 2 times 2 is 4. And now I'm going to simplify what's underneath the square root. Now we call this the discriminant. So 1 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 3, that's 25. What's the square root of 25? That's 5. So that was a perfect square. Okay. Now, I think you recalled last time we have a plus or minus. We ask ourselves, are these like terms? They are. Negative 1 and 5 are like terms. So I'm going to rewrite this as two separate expressions. Negative 1 plus 5 divided by 4. Negative 1 minus 5 divided by 4. Negative 1 plus 5 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Negative 1 minus 5 is negative 6. So this is negative 6 divided by 4, which is negative 3 halves. This is 4 divided by 4, which is 1, and then negative 3 halves. Okay. Didn't give myself enough room there. Apologize. All right. Let's go look at the next one. Make sure it's equal to 0. It's equal to 0, so identify A, identify B, identify C. Okay. Next, we're going to plug it into the quadratic formula. So negative b is minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So negative b plus minus the square root. I'm just copying this from up here. B squared, 24 squared minus 4 times 9 times 16 all over 2a. Okay. Next, we're going to simplify around the plus or minus. Okay. 24 squared minus 4 times 9 times 16. That's 0. The square root of 0 is 0. So you get 0 in that spot. Now we're going to simplify this, and this is going to be a little interesting, a little different. Negative 24 plus 0 divided by 18. Negative 24 minus 0 divided by 18. It's negative 24 plus 0, negative 24. Negative 24 divided by 18. They both have factors of 6. That'd be negative 4/3. Same thing here. Negative 4/3. And so you get negative 4/3 twice. And so negative 4/3 is your answer. So you only get one solution here because you get the same answer twice. So you get the same answer twice. Now let's go look at some not so pretty ones. So make sure it's equal to 0. A is equal to 3. B is equal to 2. C is equal to 7. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared plus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so there's your formula. Now we want to simplify what's around the plus or minus. So I've got a negative times 2, so it's negative 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And I'm going to simplify what's underneath this junk here. So let's look at this. Let's By the way, they call this the discriminant. We're going to talk about this later. 4 times 3 times 7, negative 80. So I've got some work to do here. Negative 80, you have a negative under the square root. So you got to take out an I, and then you got to break down 80. That's 16 and 5, 4 and 4, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. So you got two twos coming out. So you got 2 times I. 5 doesn't pair up. So it's 4I square root of 5. Okay. Now on this one, whenever you have i's involved, remember a couple of things. One, you have to separate these when you have i's involved because you want to have the real part and the imaginary part. Okay. Also look, these can simplify. Negative 2 6 is negative 1/3. 4 6 is 2/3. Okay, because you can divide each by 2. Next, are these like terms? These are not like terms. On the last two problems, they were like terms, so I could make two separate expressions. Here, I don't need to. I'm actually done. Now, you could also do this. You could also do negative 1/3 plus 2/3 I squared of 5 and negative 1/3 minus 2/3 I squared of 5. So you could also write a comma separated list too, or you could leave it as a plus or minus there. Okay, whatever way you prefer. All right, let's look at D, or H, sorry, H. So on H, we're going to identify A, B, and C are equal to 0 first. So A equals 2, B equals 1, C equals negative 4. And then I'm going to rewrite this quadratic formula, negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Okay. Here's my quadratic formula. Next, I want to simplify everything around the plus or minus. So negative 1, 4, and let's figure out what this is underneath the square root. So I've got 1 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 4 would be 33. Square root of 33, that's 3 and 11. That's not going to break down. So here, we're kind of stuck here on this one because there's no, can't simplify this. I could separate it if I want. I actually could leave it like this because these are not like terms. So I could leave it like this, or I could do negative 1 plus the square root of 33 divided by 4, comma negative 1 minus the square root of 33 divided by 4. So I could do that as well. So either way works.